First and foremost, I want to give all praises to Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushai, by Hashem Rakakadash. Shalom to the sincere Akiem and Yaa'qob. Shalom to the hopeful elect. Shalom to my brothers in the lot. I'm going to do another quick lesson dealing with, the curses and how the curses will be identified by the true children of Israel. We say to be a sign upon them forever, so you be identified. And the so-called blacks, natives, and Latinos are the ones who fit these curses. And this land of wickedness, this sinful nation, who the Most High said He has His eye on, the so-called United States of America, or Babylon the Great, spiritual Sodom and Egypt, where we are in captivity even unto this day. So we're gonna get into it real quick. Just go through precepts. Hopefully the brothers and the sisters who may see this be edified. We're gonna start in Deuteronomy. Chapter 28 and read verse 15, and it says, "But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy power, to observe to do all His commandments and all His statutes which I command you this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee." So, we had a contract, with the Most High. And the Most High, he told Moses to tell the children of Israel, listen, if y'all don't keep these commandments and statutes, all these curses going to come upon you. One of those curses is we're going to be sold into slavery. We was going to come on slavery onto ships and be sold to our enemies for bondmen and bondwomen. He said all these curses will overtake thee. So when you look in your community and you see high drug usage, single parent homes, high murder rate, the lowest, high prison rate, the lowest in the economy. Those are all part of the curses from Deuteronomy 28 that our people fit. That we are an oppressed people. We are truly oppressed people. We've been oppressed by the so-called white man, Edom. Esau, the Edomites, who the Bible speaks of, would be our enemies. That we would be, it says, deliver thyself, Zion, who dwellest with the daughter of Babylon. And this is where we at. We're dwelling in modern day Babylon. Oppressed. We jump over in verse 30. Let's go to verse 32 in the same chapter. Deuteronomy 28 verse 32 says, "Thy sons and thy daughters shall be given unto another people, and thy eyes shall look and fare with longing for them all the day long, and there shall be no might in thy hand." Our ancestors was put on auction blocks, and they had their children sold off into slavery when they couldn't do nothing about it. They have no might in their hand. They had no military, no government, no backing, no nothing. There was nothing they could do about it. They were scattered all through the four corners, shipped all across this goddamn country, separating families, and there was nothing we can do about it. That was part of the curses that was put upon our people. And He said the curses would be a sign upon us forever to identify with the true children of Israel, and we the only one who fit those curses. According to prophecy. So we see that, Let's continue reading in verse 33. It says, "The fruit of thy land and all thy labors shall a nation which thou knowest not eat up, and thou shalt be only oppressed and crushed always." They ate our labors up through slavery. We built this country from the ground up off our blood, sweat, and tears. And they ate it up and became the so-called greatest nation that ever lived on the face of the earth. But this was all the will of the Most High to build these people up. So He could eventually tear them down. He said, Edom said they shall build. The Most High said He will tear down. And they did that off oppressing the Israelites. He said we'll be oppressed always, even from back then, even to this day. We are still oppressed. We are still hunted down in the streets. We are still the bottom. We are still the tail. They are the head. The Bible said we have to go to them for wanting of all things. So whenever we need something, we got to go to the white man to get it, the so-called white man. Let's go to the book of Isaiah, chapter 10. And starting verse 1, it says, "Woe unto them that decree unrighteous decrees and write grievances which they have prescribed, to turn aside the needy from judgment, and to take away the right from the poor of my people, that widows may be they prey, and they may rob the fatherless." So this is the policies and the laws that they passed. Is to keep God's chosen people, keep the Most High's chosen people oppressed. It says woe to them. danger and destruction is going to come to these people for, you know, these wicked ass drug laws that they set. You know what I'm saying? The child support system, the tax system, everything, you know, discriminatory housing system that they set up. Everything is against the Most High's chosen people, so he can keep us oppressed. This is what the so-called white man Esau do. You know what I mean? He finds a way to get you, you know, you so-called people who want to assimilate with these people. You know what I'm saying? The helionists amongst us, so to speak. You know what I mean? To go out and vote. And these people pass policies that don't do nothing but keep our people oppressed. And some of y'all think because your little family or whatever might be doing so-called okay here, you know, the rest of your nation, though, is living in hell. You know what I'm saying? Under the foot of these goddamn devils. But y'all don't want to talk about that. Y'all don't want to deal with the big issue because you don't love your nation. Y'all don't put, you know what I'm saying, Israel before everything else. Y'all want to be United States citizens, man. And these people don't give a damn about us, man. If they did, they wouldn't write these damn decrees and policies that they do. Let's go get another precept on that in the book of Daniel. Chapter 8 and verse 25, and it reads, Salakia, and through his policy also shall he cause craft to prosper in his hand, and he shall magnify himself in his heart, and by peace he shall destroy many. He shall also stand against the prince of princes, but he shall be broken without hand. So, you know, these people set themselves up to be God. You know what I'm saying? They set themselves up to be the Most High. They changed the image of our Hamashiach, you know, into Caesar Borgia. You know what I'm saying? They've done all these things. They set these policies themselves so they can magnify themselves, you know, with their so-called democracy. You know, it's a bunch of devils, man. A bunch of hypocrites, according to the Bible. You know what I'm saying? He said that they even going to stand up and try to fight against Yahushua, man, but they'll be broken without a hand, man. You know what I'm saying? He's coming back with vengeance to destroy this place for the oppression that they've done to the children of Yasharallah. Let's go to the book of Jeremiah. Chapter 50 and verse 33. And thus says the Lord of hosts, the children of Israel and the children of Judah were oppressed together, and all that took them captives hold them fast. They refused to let them go. So he's talking about the northern kingdom, you know what I'm saying? And he's talking about, you know, the southern kingdom, which was Judah, Benjamin, and Levi. You know, and our Latino brothers who was in the northern kingdom, the so-called Mexicans, the so-called Puerto Ricans, they've been oppressed too. You know, the Dominicans, all these, they've been oppressed too by these people. You know what I mean? We've been oppressed together. So-called Native Americans, they was oppressed too. We're all here being oppressed right now together in this goddamn land. You know what I'm saying? And the Bible's prophesied that bad. They refused to let us go. They refused. You know what I mean? And it's not in the will of the Most High for them to let them go. It's in the will of the Most High for us to be delivered, you know, through the hands of Yahushua and the angels. You know what I'm saying? And that's what salvation is, according to the Bible. He said he come to, you know, to save us from our enemies and all them that hate thee. You know, that's in Luke chapter 1. So we gotta understand what's going on within this oppression. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people look at it and say, oh, well, the so-called Mexicans and them, they ain't been oppressed like that's what they have. And there's a scripture that, you know, even goes into that. You know what I'm saying? Why it may seem that we are a little bit more oppressed than they are. As a matter of fact, let me get that. Jeremiah chapter 3. Let's start in verse 8. And it says, and I saw when for all the causes whereby backsliding Israel, the northern kingdom, committed adultery, and I had put her away and given her a bill of divorce, yet her treacherous sister Judah feared not, but went and played the harlot also. So we seen how the Most High had already cut off, the northern kingdom, and they was referred to as heathens and Gentiles, which people, err when they think Paul's talking about, the rest of the nations, when he's talking about the northern kingdom who was, gave a bill of divorce by the Most High. He no longer called them his wife, you know what I'm saying? Because we are married. You know what I mean? Yahushua said he's coming back for the marriage of the Lamb. You know what I'm saying? We are likened unto a bride. That's why it talks about the virgins. You know what I'm saying? And we seen what happened. But we went ahead, our forefathers went ahead and played the harlot too. We went ahead and started worshiping other gods and breaking the commandments too. Let me keep reading. In verse 9 it says, and it came to pass through the lightness of her whoredom that she defiled the land and committed adultery with stones and with stocks. And yet for all this treacherous sister Judah have not turned unto me with a whole heart, but vainly said the Lord. And the Most High said unto me, the backsliding Israel has justified herself more than treacherous Judah. So there you have it. Because they went off and turned against the Most High, and the Most High gave them bill of divorce. We didn't even, recognize it. We didn't even fear seeing with the Most High how he punished them. And we went off and did it ourselves. And that's why he said they justified themselves more than we have. So all y'all who try to say, they haven't suffered the way we suffered, or why ain't they oppressed the way we oppressed? Well, it's right here in the Bible. We got to go to the scriptures for the answers. According to prophecy, thus says the Most High Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai. That's where we get our answers from. You know what I mean? That's the spirit of truth. You know what I mean? The testimony of Yahweh Shai is the spirit of prophecy. So we get our answers right here from the book. It's plain. Let's go to the book of Isaiah. Chapter 42, and let's go to verse 22. But this is a people robbed and spoiled. They are all of them snared in holes, and they are hid in prison houses, for they are a prey, and none delivered for a spoil, and none says restore. You know what I'm saying? We have the highest prison rates, the so-called blacks and Mexicans. You know what I'm saying? We got the highest prison rates, you know what I'm saying? We've been hid in these prison houses, This whole system is a prison system. We hold I believe, over a quarter of all the people in prison in all the world come from this goddamn wicked-ass sinful nation. You know what I'm saying? And that's oppression. You know what I'm saying? We've been oppressed by these people. They lock our people up for things, that the so-called white man would never be locked up for. We get longer sentences than the so-called white man for the same crimes that we commit. You know what I'm saying? That's all a part of their policies. That's all about oppression. We are a prey to these people. You know what I mean? Zechariah 11:5 said, who will oppress or slay them and hold themselves not guilty. You know what I mean? They've been killing us off, raping us and murdering us for years, and there's been no justice for our people. But our justice will come through Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai. When he comes back and cleans this goddamn wicked ass place up, he's gonna purge this place with fire, man. That's what's coming to the so-called United States of America for oppressing the children of Israel. Get the book of Baruch, chapter 2, in verse 1 it says, herefore the Most High has made good his word, which he pronounced against us and against our judges that judge Israel, and against our kings, and against our princes, and against the men of Israel and Judah, to bring upon us great plagues, such as never happened under the whole heaven, as it came to pass in Jerusalem, according to the things that were written in the law of Moses. So it goes to tell you, it was things that happened to our people haven't been happening to no people under the whole heaven. You know what I'm saying? And he brought to pass his word. He said in Deuteronomy 28:15, if you don't hearken on to these commandments this day, then all these curses will come upon you. That's why it says what was written in the law of Moses. You know what I'm saying? And all these things took place, man. And they, even unto this day, they still take place. These curses, you can't shake them. You got people who, you know what I'm saying, think if they move from a different city to another city that their life will get better. No, the curses is going to pursue you. You know what I'm saying? Wherever you go, our people are under these curses, man. And there ain't no escaping them, you know what I mean? Our salvation will come through Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai, man, when he gets us out of this goddamn wicked-ass nation, man. You know what I'm saying? We got to understand that, we under the curses, man. We an oppressed people, man. That's why people need to repent, man, and come back to the Most High, man. You know, that's why we out here trying to, you know, seal the hopeful elect, man. That's why we go out on these byways and highways. That's why we do these videos, man, that we may able to get out to our people, man, that they could wake up in these last days and realize that they are the people of this book, man. That you are the true children of Yasharala. You know? It's the book of, let's go to the book of Proverbs, chapter 29 and verse 2. It says, when the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. But when the wicked bear rule, the people mourn. You know, the earth's been given into the hands of the wicked. So-called white man's ruling. And our people are mourning because we're oppressed. You know what I'm saying? When we get in authority, they said the people will rejoice because our people are the righteous. You know what I'm saying? But the so-called white man, he's in authority now and the people are mourning. The people are starving. The people are homeless. The people are oppressed. The people are downtrodden, treaded upon. You know? That's what's going on. Our people are mourning. You know? And we have been and will continue. And it's only going to get worse, man, here in these last days, man. Great tribulation is coming. You know, perilous times is coming. And we have to put our trust in Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. You know, the Most High Yahweh has to be our refuge in these days. We have to keep the faith. He that endures to the end, the same shall be saved. Go to the book of Ecclesiastes. Chapter 1 and verse 18, it says, for in much wisdom is much grief, and he that increaseth knowledge increaseth sorrow. So when we come into this truth and we realize all the things our people come through and how we've been lied to, you know what I mean? It grieves us, you know what I'm saying? When you see the destruction that's going to come to this earth and come to 2/3 of our people, it grieves you. The more knowledge and more grief. You know what I mean? We vexated in the spirit, man, about being in this wicked ass place and all the trials and tribulations and an oppression that happened to our people. And we have an understanding of that through the spirit of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. And it grieves our spirits, man. We vexed in the spirit, you know. It even talks about that, you know, when it says, you know, that they saved just Lot because he was vexed at the conversation of the wicked. You know, we get tired of even hearing all these lies. We get tired of hearing you wicked ass rappers and watching all these wicked ass the shows that y'all put out here and how y'all try to corrupt the minds, you know, of our people. So we know we don't war against flesh and blood, but spiritual wickedness in high places. It's continuing to put this mental oppression upon us as well as physical oppression upon us. You know, so the more knowledge we gain, the more grief and sorrow we feel as we continue in this walk, man. By Hashem Yahweh Shai. Stay in the same book. It's the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 7 and verse 7. Surely oppression make a wise man mad, and a gift destroys the heart. You know, surely oppression to make a wise man. We're angry. You know what I'm saying? We oppress. We understand through you know what I mean, through prophecy, through history, through studying, you know, who the so-called white man truly is and who we are, who our true nationality is. And we upset. We're sick of this goddamn place. You know what I mean? He said, he that loves this world, the love of the Most High is not in him. We don't love this world. This is not our world. Our kingdom is to come. We look for a better kingdom, a new Jerusalem. You know what I'm saying? A better place than this place, man. And it says, surely oppression will make a wise man, man. So if you ain't upset and angry about the conditions of the so-called black man, the so-called Latino, the so-called native, the true Israelites, the conditions of our people all across this earth, man, then you off, man. You off if you content with this bullshit, because that's what it is. You know what I'm saying? We could do better than this, man. And how do we do better than this? We try to put faith in the Most High Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai and be diligent, man, to make our calling and election sure. But you got to recognize who you are. You know what I'm saying? You got to repent, wake up. you know? And how did we come into this? You know what I'm saying? This understanding, this truth through the spirit of Yahweh Shai said, Yahweh Shai said, no man can come to me unless the Father who sent me draws him. You know what I mean? And he said, I will raise him up in the last day. You know what I mean? You don't come into this truth on your own recognizance. You come into this truth because the Most High, you know what I'm saying, draws you near. You know what I'm saying? It's the book of Isaiah, chapter 61 and verse 1. The Spirit of the Most High is upon me, because the Lord hath anointed me to preach good tidings unto the meek. He sent me to bind up the brokenhearted. Who's the brokenhearted? Huh? Oh, well, there's brokenhearted people. You know what I'm saying? In every you know what I'm saying, race of people. But it's only talking about the Israelites. You know what I'm saying? Salakia. The Spirit of the Most High is upon me, because the Lord has anointed me to preach good tidings unto the meek. He has sent me to bind up the brokenhearted, to proclaim liberty to the captives, and the opening of the prison to them that are bound, to proclaim the acceptable year of the Lord, the day of vengeance of our power, to comfort all that mourn. And our people are the ones that are mourning. We already went over that. When the righteous is in a power, the people rejoice. When the wicked, you know, is in power, the people mourn. And this is in the book of Isaiah, and this is the same thing that Yahweh Shai went in the temple and opened up, and it goes in that. I think that's chapter 4 in Luke. You know what I'm saying? That, you know, he's come to preach this gospel to our people. You know what I'm saying? These are the good tidings that we're trying to tell y'all about. You know, an acceptable claim of years is vengeance. You know, taking vengeance on the so-called white man for what he's done and oppressing our people. Matter of fact, let's go there. Just, you know, because sometimes we paraphrase scriptures, but, you know what I'm saying? The Bible says, prove all things. Chapter 4 in Luke, starting in verse 17. And there was delivered unto him the book of the prophet Isaiah. And when he had opened the book, he found the place where it is written, the Spirit of the Lord is upon me, because he anointed me to preach the gospel to the poor. He has sent me to heal the brokenhearted, to preach deliverance to the captives. Who's the captives? Those who've been captives. We are the captives. You know what I'm saying? We were bought, we were sold off into slavery. We are in captivity unto this day. You know what I'm saying? So he's preaching this to the Israelites. And recovering of the sight to the blind, to set at liberty them that are bruised, to preach the acceptable day of the Lord. You know what I'm saying? So there we see, like, a lot of people don't deal with the Old Testament. You know what I'm saying? You got some people who in Israel who don't even believe that Yahweh Shai was the HaMashiach, man. You know what I mean? There's a lot of, you know, doctrines of devils out there, man, that you got to be mindful of, man. And, you know, you have to be able, through the Spirit, man, to understand these prophecies, man. Without the Old Testament, you won't have a clue about what's going on in the New Testament. You know what I'm saying? Get book of Proverbs. You know, our people gotta, you know, you can't trust this so-called white man. You know what I mean? The Most High said he's our enemy, but y'all believe so much in this so-called American dream and this system. Y'all want to be so much a part of this thing. This thing was never for y'all. This place is not our rest. This place is punishment. Proverbs chapter 3, verse 31 says, envy not the oppressor and choose none of his ways. Who's the oppressor? The so-called white man. Don't choose none of his ways, none of his holidays, you know, none of his religions, his diet. You know what I'm saying? We have everything that we need right here. Comes in the book in the name of Yahweh B'Hashem Yahweh Shai. You know what I'm saying? Y'all want to choose all his ways, his political system, his voting system. Y'all want to choose his ways and the ways he do things. His homosexuality. You know what I'm saying? All these things that our oppressor do, our people want to do. And we can't. He says, envy not the oppressor. Don't be jealous of what he got. His kingdom, all these things he got is gonna get burnt up. You know, we look forward to our kingdom under the rulership of our HaMashiach Yahweh Shai. Let me get book of Jeremiah, a couple more scriptures. Jeremiah chapter 10 and verse 2. Thus says the Most High, learn not the way of the heathen. Be not dismayed at the signs of heaven, for the heathen are dismayed at them. You know what I'm saying? Learn not the ways of the heathen. You know what I'm saying? And don't remember when they just had the two planets closer together and everybody looking in the sky and they talking about so-called blacks gonna get superpowers, man. They dismayed at the signs of the heaven. We didn't, those of us who understand this, you know what I mean, through the spirit of Yahweh Shem Shah, we ain't pay no goddamn attention to that bull crap. You know what I'm saying? We knew that was all false. You know what I'm saying? But this is what they do. They get dismayed. They chasing Halley's Comet and all these other things. They dismayed at the signs in the heaven. You know? We get our sign from the book, you know, through prophecy. That's how we understand what's going on. That's how we correlate things. That's how we balance this thing out. We balance it out through the prophecy, through the book. We don't give a damn. We don't choose the ways of the heathen. We don't learn his ways. You know, all of his goddamn wicked inventions. Go to the book of Psalms. Chapter 62 and verse 10. Trust not in oppression, and become not vain in robbery. If riches increase, set not your heart upon them. You know, trust not in oppression. We can't trust in this oppression. Oh, Joe Biden, we voted Jan, Kamala Harris, everything gonna be okay now. We didn't vote on them, man. You are trusting in this oppressive system that ain't never done nothing right for our people. You know? We put our trust in Yahweh Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai. We don't put our trust in no riches. We don't put our trust in no goddamn heathens. We put our trust in our Hamashiach, Yahweh Shai, in the power of the Most High Yahweh. That's it. I'll say it real fast. Real quick. It's the book of Isaiah, chapter 30, and verse 12. It reads, wherefore thus says the Holy One of Israel, because you despise this word, and you trust in oppression and perverseness, stay therein. Therefore this iniquity shall be to you as a breach, ready to fall, swelling out in the high wall, whose breaking cometh suddenly and at an instant. So because y'all trusting in this oppression, when this thing comes, it's going to hit you. You ain't even going to see it coming. It's going to hit you at an instant, man. You going to get caught up, man, in the fury. You going to get caught up in this thermonuclear fire that's coming to this damn place. Because you trust in this goddamn country. You trust in these goddamn heathens. You trust in this oppression. You got to come off of that, man. You got to repent and come back to the Most High, Yahweh Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, man. Because he's going to come like a thief in the night, man. And this whole goddamn place is going to get burnt up. A couple more scriptures on that, man. Salakia. Yahweh Shai is coming to put an end to this goddamn wicked ass place. This is book of Psalm chapter 72 and verse 4 reads, he shall judge the poor of the people. He shall save the children of the needy, and he shall break in pieces the oppressor. He's going to break this so-called white man and all these goddamn heathens that oppressed us, man. He's going to break them into pieces when he get back. We trust in that. We trust in the prophecy that the Most High is going to do that. He's going to deliver us from this place. You know, those who are the hopeful elect, man. He's going to do that. A couple more scriptures. Salakia. Psalms 37 and verse 1. Fret not thyself because of evildoers, neither be thou envious against the workers of iniquity, for they shall soon be cut down like grass, wither as the green herb. Trust in the Most High and do good, so shall thou dwell in the land, and verily thou shalt be fed. Delight thyself in the Most High, and he shall give thee desires of thy heart. Commit thy way unto the Most High. Trust also in him, and he shall bring it to pass. And he shall bring forth the righteousness as the light, and the judgment as noonday. Rest in the Most High, and wait patiently for him. Fret not thyself because of him who prospers in the way, because of the man who bringeth wicked devices to pass. You know, so he's saying, trust in the Most High. Don't trust in these wicked devices, this technology, and all these things that the so-called white man got on. This soon, they're going to get cut down, man. They're going to wither away. You know, and that's soon, man. This oppression that we going through as a people, man, will soon pass, man. And we got to keep our trust in the Most High, Yahweh Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai. You know what I'm saying? So I just want to, try to encourage the brothers, to recognize this oppression that we dealing with, man, and be mindful of it, that it too shall pass, man, and we can't trust in this system, man. Real quick, the book of Luke, chapter 12, verse 32 says, "Fear not, little flock, for it is your Father's good pleasure to give you the kingdom." And that's to the hopeful elect of Yasharallah, man. Fear not, man, in these end days, man, because it's our Father's pleasure to give us the kingdom, Stay diligent, walk circumspectly, and remember who we are, man. We the chosen, man. You know what I'm saying? And with that being said, I'm going to end it, man. Shalom. Shalom. All praises to the Most High Yahweh by Hashem Yahushua, by Hashem Rakakadash. Till the next time we do another lesson. Shalom.